So, I'm finally here now. Well, I'm finally here. It's gonna be quite a bit of fun here. I'm just trying to do a bit of stream because I want to start doing live streams now, and I feel it would be perfect. So, welcome. What to name streams? Should I call it a podcast? There's like so many ideas I could go for. Like I could do this live stream for various topics, like reviews, um, based on like anything like games, movies, TV shows, etc. I could talk about internet drama. I heard that yesterday that Trolls Band Together Fan 2001 got terminated, and rightfully so, because he was making death threats towards Harry Thomas Picture for pretty much disliking trolls. Again, over not liking trolls. Though it's been rumored that he might have returned, but there's nothing that confirms it yet. Aside from what I heard from Nick Hick, but that's a different story for another day. I could talk about really anything. Part of me wants to bring on a guest for my streams, although I'm trying to learn how to get used to that. Yeah, at this point, trolls should be ignored, but but if they go too far, sometimes they have to be, because I don't even believe that Alex could even be a troll anymore, because I think he's just deliberately trying to piss people off. Yeah, exactly. Not just comments, but to Jorge, to let me see if I remember that user, Aaron Soto, Jonathan Media Shack, like over random users who call him out on his insanity. Like that dude's just insane altogether. Hello, Razor Rex. How have you been doing? I might be considering inviting a few people onto my streams. That is, if they want to be a part of the streams. At this point, they should. People like Troll Band Together for 2001, Santhropony, Star Giant Productions, and Lily Orchard are pretty much the bane of YouTube at this point. So, what should I talk about? What should I do for my streams? Should I do like, a podcast regarding like movies, TV shows, etc.? Like, I also who wants to join on a stream one day on Minds? So far, only 3 people are joining, so that's a bona fide plus. Yeah, I'm considering doing something like that. Like, every movie I have seen in recent memory, the ones that came out recently. Considering, like, I may do it so with a friend or a few who may consider talking about it. So we'll just see how that goes. No, that's just my normal voice. But, that's just the voice I've always been on. You've seen it in my video. That's why. And welcome, Waltman. Welcome to this podcast. Yeah, the fact that Jar is supposedly trying to quote, keep him from doing anything sus. No, and I've seen a couple of him making potential burner accounts. Again, like Alan Johnson, Corn Cobbler, like I've seen a few of them either publicly defend Zayd or try to stick up to his haters. And seriously though, what's the point with the hate them video? Like, what's that video even gonna do for him? His reputation is already destroyed at this rate. Oh, thank you for pointing that out. Like, again, this is my first time, so in case you're wondering why, it's because I don't have a mic. I just mainly just try to do anything straightforward. So yeah, I don't have a mic. I'm just recording. His internet persona definitely like keep this up and he'll pretty much be in jail now. So, I have seen a total of I don't know who you are, but welcome to the chat. At this point, that's pretty much where it is going to end up at this rate. What's up? What's up, you? All the hate them video is going to do is get him the same amount of backlash that the three other people who did videos on him on their harassers or abuse. Yes, it's gonna end with more backlash on Zayn. Like no one's going to believe him. Like after all the bullcrap he's done to people like Cartoon Sheet, yeah, no one's gonna believe him. Like I'm pretty sure by the time that video does come out, it's gonna be met with nothing but dislike fodder, and rightfully so. Like the dislikes are gonna be huge. If only I could be able to see the dislikes on that video, because I'm sure it'll be hilarious. Like, and I've seen the Ghostbusters 2016 trailer get like bombed to oblivion. So, Goofies are for everyone. So let's start. Oh boy. Borderlands. That film was garbage. I can imagine that he'll be getting called out for stalking people in Discord servers. Yes, he will. Are you going to stream any games? Possibly, though I am not so sure how I will be able to export it on for gaming, but I'll try my best. I'm considering some Papa Louie games. You remember those games back when they were on games? Like those were a lot of fun. My elementary school years was worth it just for that alone. Yeah, Discord can be very hit or miss. Like I like that site if I want to talk to some of my associates, but aside of that, yeah, Discord has a real problem when it comes to like scammers. Like I've had four of them this year. I got it from Hans Jovial, from Danny the Guardian, Blue X, and Rarity M92. I still play Watch Proof and Sure. Yeah. So if anyone wants to come onto my streams, wants to live chat with me, please consider it. Like, if you want to join me, I'll be more than glad to put you in on invite one day. Who knows? Oh, that's all right. Like I said, if anyone wants to join, that's just their choosing. Yo to you, Galeem Light. Welcome to the stream. I hope we get a remake of Chibi Robo on Switch. I already played it, so don't really know how to comment. So yeah. So a few days ago, I just watched a movie called Borderlands. As someone who never even played the game, that film was trash. I am not even making light of what I'm saying. That film was the epitome of garbage. Yes, Borderlands was garbage. I honestly think it's worse than Madam Web, actually. Javier Rod, Eli Roth. I knew from the start this film wasn't going to be good. But holy wowzers, I did not think it would surpass it. This film is literally what everyone hates about Marvel movies nowadays. To read a letterbox review, I said in a quote, I the least this film could have been is a dumb, fun, guilty pleasure, but it couldn't even be that. This film was a train wreck on all fronts. There was no effort, no charisma, no chemistry, no fun, no interesting features. It was nothing but a disgustingly corporate grabastic piece of amphibious shit. Like, don't even get me started on the characters. Like, good God, I hated everything about Tiny Tina, especially Claptrap. Like, seriously, the film was not funny as it tried to be Guardian of the Galaxy and fails miserably because none of the characters have chemistry. And as much as the actors were trying their best to salvage with this, they couldn't do anything for me because the writing was abysmal, filled with some of the worst exposition of this year. And I'm pretty sure if I was a fan of Borderlands, I'd hate this movie even more. As the only thing I could say kind of decently, that wouldn't have a redeeming quality, was I guess on a visual standpoint, it looks decent. I could tell there was effort in the budget, but that can only get you so far, and that's the only reason why I'm not giving that straight up 0 out of 10. Like, it's definitely the second worst movie this year. Like, it's up there with Megan versus the Ticket. Heck, I'd even go as far as say Madam Web was better because at least I can laugh at how bad that film was. That film was just enjoyably terrible. Like, if I want to watch a bad movie night, I'd put on Madam Web in an instant. For that film a 0.5 out of 10, if only for production design and some of the costuming being slightly decent, but as there was nothing that salvaged garbage film. It's definitely one of the worst films of recent memory, and I can definitely see this in the top three worst films of the year. And if there is a film that managed to make Madam Web look better by comparison, yeah, 2024 we're pretty much screwed. Oh yeah, I remember that hilarious moment from Shea Phyllis. Like, I'll put it on right now. You'll get a laugh.
Megamind resorts to getting all the fish guys with the dehydration gun. Cool. Hey, wait, so he'll use it on these guys, but not the Doom Syndicate? Oh, how do I stop 4 villains at once? Shoot them with the dehydration gun! So shoot them with a gun! I feel like I'm losing my goddamn mind! This is so fucking shitty! I can't take shoot them with the fucking dehydration gun. It is the easiest solution in the whole damn world. What the fuck is your problem?
I will never get tired of that meme. That will always be hilarious. though, Schaefer did an amazing job with that review. Then again, Schaefer is one of my favorite YouTubers, so it shouldn't come as a shock. Hello, Luke Spillman. How are you doing? Sure, ask the question. He went from being Pops to being Benton in a millisecond. Oh yeah, like his rage was priceless. I will always be using that meme every time a character makes stupid decisions. Like, shoot with the dehydration! Like, I haven't seen Schaefer's rage this hard since his Dear Evan Hansen video, where he raised Mark Platt, and rightfully so, because Mark Platt just used that movie as a vanity project for his son Ben Platt, despite the fact that Ben Platt was too damn old to play Evan Hansen. What if you work for Disney, Warner Bros., and more movie companies? Nope. I'd rather be an independent one at that, because working with screwy movie producers and we get you into AI controversies, I'd rather not join the film industry in the mainline canon if I wanted to. Maybe, I don't know, because I don't always plan on watching every movie that comes out. I mostly just watch whatever I can. Oh yeah, it's Frozen. I'm not a big fan of it. Disagree. I hate to disagree because I'm one of the few people who actually like the Frozen films, even if not many others do nowadays. Like I love a soft spot for Frozen movies. So yeah. And I respect yours because, as I said, I'm not a Magenta nor a Band Together fan who disrespects other people's opinions. And if you disagree with me, then then people should be put down. And I'm not a critical human either. As long as as long as you don't like, as long as we don't end up like those guys, we're good. Like don't get me started on a critical human. Good God, I can't stand that guy. He might be one of the worst Twitter users ever made. Like, the fact that he constantly obsesses over Tom and Jerry 2021, this guy is actively more denser than Candy Rocks. Yeah, I'm trying my best here. Please don't screw me over for this. Unfortunately, no. Frozen is awesome, but again, I agree to disagree. You know what's the worst part about being alone? Fuck SML. SML sucks, especially only after they included Jeffy in this franchise, and it's slowly gone downhill. Last straw became very much with the puppets. SML sucks. It's overrated. End of story. And Logan is a person who pretty much can't take any criticism whatsoever. And the SML community is filled with people like the SMR and rants. And while I'm and for the record, I'm not Alexander Mortensen, where I said that the SML crew deserves to get COVID-19. This is dope. Alex, French Fry Animations, might be pretty dang insane. Oh yes, he is. I prefer SMG4 to SML nowadays. Because at least people like Glitch make good content like Murder Drone and the Amazing Digital Circus, both of which are way better than SML. Heck, I'd even go as far as to say Vibsy Pop does better with Hell of a Boss and even Hasbin Hotel. Good. I'm glad he's terminated, but I doubt it's gonna last for long. But for now, yeah, I'm actually glad he is terminated. At least his mainline channel. I don't know if he has a backup one or he'll return. Let me see if I can promote my live streams. Oh, I agree. Lackadaisy is actually pretty dang good. Anything that's on my phone, Subway Surfers. Given the Trolls band together, Phantasm 1 is stubborn. I'm pretty sure he would anyway. He pretty much does everything wrong at this point. Like, if you expect him to finally realize his bullshit, he won't because he's that much of an ignorama and a pathetic man child. Like, what do you expect from him? Like, like I'd like to remind you, this is the same guy who called Spider-Verse fans Nazis and terrorists. Are there any mother characters in good media hate? The one from Tangle, definitely fucking hate her. Spoiled Rich from My Little Pony, definitely. Stella from Hello Boss, I don't know what she's like as a parent, but I'm pretty sure she's pretty horrible towards Octavia. Like, Timmy Turner's like parents, they're pretty much both horrible. Most of the time they are. What the boing am I looking at? It's something I will always be quoting every now and again. Oh boy. As a first time, we're clocking a pretty decent runtime at 25 minutes. If anyone wants to come join, I'd be glad. No shit. This is good for someone who thinks Wish Dragon is underrated. Yes, Wish Dragon is underrated. Yeah, I didn't like that review either. Not just because I love the movie, but also because he also goes wrong. Like he at one point said that Shadow the Hedgehog was wasted, even though he was only a mid credit, and that if he was in the movie, it would have made the film utterly convoluted. He hates on the fact that Robotnik is a clown, but ignoring the fact that he's still a threat in this, and by that love, the song of Sonic the Hedgehog and the song Boom Show are kind of guilty of making him more comedic, and therefore they're bad. Logic. Boss, very much. Even, even if I didn't really get into Wish Dragon all that much, it's still better than Ryan the Last Dragon. Definitely, like, sure, Wish Dragon isn't the greatest film, but at least it doesn't have a harmful message for kids. Like, good God, that film is a poorly. I remember when I went to go see it in the theater, and I absolutely loved it. But then again, that was back when I was a huge Disney shill, or at least a Disney fan at the time, just in terms of their products. But I did know about their Mulan situation. I don't really lose respect for Disney altogether. I still was able to watch some of the things they released, in spite of that. This was back when I didn't know how to think critically at the time and know how I view my media. I thought that the trust message Raya was good before, but after seeing other people's reviews and after really looking into the movie and watching it again, yeah, it has not aged well at all. I mean, I don't think it's a terrible movie by any means, as there are stuff I liked because it wasn't really fun to watch, but the message, wow, that film was screwed in the message it intended. Like, not as up there with Trolls, the first one where it has a toxic message for kids that should not be taken by anyone, and yet that film wasn't even good to begin with. Like, I never liked Trolls, even when I was 12, and yet this same guy where I was 12 and I enjoyed stuff like Smurf, but at least Smurfs has a charm. And plus, the Smurfs has historical context, so that made Smurfs a little more enjoyable than Trolls, in my opinion. Yeah, Branch Troll too. Like I remember that Luigi Marinus used to defend this guy, but now since Terry Thomas video, nope, he pretty much scored all times too. Honestly, I can't blame anyone for cutting ties with this deranged maniac. Like I don't think I've seen a YouTuber this deranged in a long time. I also saw Blink twice in theaters a few years ago, and it was pretty good. Like it wasn't great, but I liked it. Let's see. It was a bit slow at times, but the performances, especially from Naomi Aki and Channing Tatum, are good. There is some good atmosphere, and Zoe Kravitz's direction was solid. But the twist, I kind of saw it coming. I pretty much guessed that one right off the gate. And I will say the ending is weird, but it definitely gets pretty bonkers. And I won't lie, anyone that has a bonkers third act really caught my attention. I'll always give it a good review. So I'll be generous and give this one a 7 out of 10. No. No, this is the 9/11 of movies. Yeah, imagine comparing an animated film to a real life tragedy. Like, I should not have to explain why every bit of that line is disgusting. It's just as stupid as when he called Gwen Stacy a woke character. Seriously, though. We're 24 and people are still using that word, despite it losing pretty much all meaning. Guilty pleasure at best, but still pretty bad. I'll say that much. Like, I think we can all agree anything that Alex says is pretty much nonsense because he either doesn't know what he's talking about, he never stays on point, and he's just a terrible, terrible excuse of a reviewer. Like he literally wants to throw Mayday Parker off a cliff. Yeah, because that's certainly not child abuse. Any TV shows and movies you recommend to me? You can find that yourself. There's actually a few shows I'm considering watching. I'm considering watching Kill la Kill. I'm trying to get into a couple more anime-based programming. I also heard that the Beetlejuice show, the cartoon, ended up on Tubi a few days ago, so I might give that a watch. Gwen Stacy is not woke, especially given what she had to go through in arc in the second movie, where she had to earn her father's trust. Yes, exactly. She has an arc, and it's actually well written. Besides, we still have Beyond the Spider-Verse, and we need to wait until that movie comes out to confirm the storyline. But Gwen Stacy is the first thing from a supposedly woke character. But apparently, people are actually calling Gwen Stacy a woke character because she's apparently trans. Like, it's somewhat a theory that Gwen Stacy, at least in the Spider-Verse movies, are trans. And people are actually complaining about that. No, really. So it's not just trolls band together, trans as one Gwen Stacy a woke character. Welcome to my world too, YT 2018. We live in an era where pretty much everything gets called woke now. At this point, I just would rather critique badly written characters or well written characters, not by the agenda, race, or gender, or anything like that. Like, I don't care about, the whole diversity claim. At this point, it's a moot point, and I would rather move on to better things. And that has to be the most insane trailer I've seen. Like, I was still bummed out that they did not make this a full-on animated film. They should have made it an animated film. And really, Jack Black as Steve? Like, Jack Black, you only worked once per Bowser, and he was great in that, but Borderlands was garbage, especially Claptrap, and this, it just looks like he's just going to go for a Jumanji level. And that's before I even consider talking about a certain little controversy. I'm not going to name what the controversy is. You pretty much know what it is. But I would rather not bring up politics in this video, just for the record. Oh yeah, I remember that review and the insane backlash I got. To the point where he was on Forbes. That was insane, epic on so many levels. Like that was just insane. But I'll at least give Mr. Andrew credit. At least he regrets the take and has long since disowned it, apologized. If you've seen his top 10 worst videos, you'll know what I'm talking about. So I'll give Mr. Andrew a little bit of credit where it's due. Where whereas people that chose Band Together fans 2001 pretty much never willingly their mistakes, nor will they ever learn from it. Mr. Ender has his problems, to be sure, but boy, but there is just so much worse out there. Like even the worst thing Mr. Ender has done, even like a lazy gaming people. That's definitely one positive I'll say on in his defense. Narrowly, at least he isn't breaking the law on some sorts. Besides, at least Gwen Stacy's not a Mary Sue, as opposed to Ray and Captain Marvel. Yes, because having everything handed to you and being more capable without any real effort, yeah. I prefer compelling characters that actually earn their rights. Agreed, Minecraft should have been full on animated. Exactly, I bet you that a fan film using Minecraft would be a fuck ton better than whatever the hell Warner Bros is pumping out. How am I not surprised? It is YouTube recommending one of Yellow Flash 2 video for me. Yeah, how am I not surprised? At this point, channels the rage bait channels, like they need to be removed from the internet. I'm sick of these channels as they're practically ruining discussions at this point. I hope Jack Black being in a video game isn't his new thing. I think he's a gamer, but like us, but still, yeah. Much like Chris Pratt just voicing iconic characters. I was willing to forgive it with Mario, but by the time we got to the Garfield movie, I was like, yeah, I can't take Chris Pratt anymore. Like, can you please stop voicing iconic characters when he doesn't sound anything like it? I was willing to give it a pass in the Mario movie. With the Garfield, he sounded way too energetic. He sounded. He didn't even sound like he was either lazy. Like, Chris Pratt was a little too lazy to ever change his voice, and thus he felt ungodly miscast as Garfield. Yeah, he shouldn't come back, like, ever. But it wouldn't be surprised if he tries to find a way. Because we all know YouTubers who are exposed will always find a way. If you're wondering why I keep muting my mic, it's because, I want parents to see this. Because, I'd rather keep these streams private as I can. Also, back to this. Yeah, 2024 wasn't a good year for Jack Black. Like, between a disappointing Kung Fu Panda 4, a certain little controversy, and now Borderlands, yeah, looks like his time is almost up. Why didn't they just get the same voice actor from the live action movie, Garfield movie, to voice him? Probably because Bill Murray hated the role so much. Like, it's one of his biggest regrets. Especially if you've seen the end credits with Zombie in one of the Zombieland movies, like he took pot shots at Garfield through and through. Like, he really hates that movie. But I will agree with you. Bill was easily the superior Garfield, in my opinion, as he captured his character in essence. I actually watched a video pointing out how rage bait channels are in fact violating YouTube's terms, but YouTube won't take action because of money. Because as we all know, money is pretty much the bottom line. Like, at this point, we might as well just accept the fact that rage bait channels are practically never going to go away. Like, channels like the Quartering, Geeks and Gamers, Yellow Flash, Nerderotic, like those channels are pretty much a violation of YouTube's guidelines as they pretty much promote hate speech and kind of discrimination. It won't be a matter of time before these channels disappear. Yes, it is. It really, really is. Note to Hollywood: stop casting celebrities to play iconic characters, especially if they don't fit a role. I'm looking at Transformers. Seriously though, I don't care if this is a prequel. Chris Hemsworth is not fit for Optimus Prime. Ever. He is not Peter Cullen and he will never will be. Correct. In October, Zayd 2023, Zayd deleted his channel. But I agree. Both are some of the worst YouTubers alive right now. Oh boy. Best film of the year is still Inside Out 2. Worst is still Megamind. Like, see, I have yet to see a movie that I consider a 10 out of 10 movie for this year. Like, I haven't seen one in a long time. Like, dang. It really is starting to turn into a disappointing year for movies. Especially after how good 2023 was. Yes, I think 2023 was a great year for movies. In spite of the strikes, in spite of certain situations, in spite of Disney being at their lowest point ever, as well as Warner Bros. Like, what is it with studios and their disastrous 100th annuals? Like last year, Warner Bros. And Disney pretty much shit the bed, especially with David Zaslav and Bob Iger being the absolute CEOs imaginable. And then 2024, Sony is pretty much been on a streak of bad luck. And of course, MGM pretty much being a dead zone because Amazon practically bought them. And now they pretty much become shell sick. Good on you, like don't watch it. Like if you're a fan of the first one, do not watch it. You'll be insulted on how much that film took a giant shit all over Megamind. The Doomsday Syndicate might be the worst animated movie I have ever seen. And keep in mind, I sat through track like the Queen's Corgi, the Rodfellows movie, and the Emoji movie. Rodfellows might be the worst animated film objectively. If I were going by my own opinions, yeah. Of what I saw, Megamind versus the Doom Syndicate, it might be the worst animated film ever. Although the Rodfellows movie is still objectively a worse film because it's made by three cretins, by three creepy people, by Darren A. Nichols, Alexander Mortensen, and Dan P. Lyons. If you remember that controversy, but I won't talk about it because they pretty much went extinct. Alex left his channel. I don't know much about Dan P. Lyons, and Darren is still having a YouTube channel. And plus, some of the people who went against those three aren't exactly good people. I'm looking at you, Jason, for a lot of the things you've done. Never heard of it. Oh yes, and I hope that Shadow the Hedgehog kicks Mufasa and Craven's ass at the box office. Like, just hoping, like that Shadow puts them in their place in December. And I also hope Lord of the Rings animated movie that'll be coming out in December will be the best animated film of this year, but only time will tell. Because the Rings movies look so damn good. And I think that would be an understatement, so we'll see how that goes. No, we didn't. But why are they doing this? Because we all know the 2019 movie made a fuck ton of moolah. Like, it made so much money, and pretty much what Disney really cares at this point. Money! Yeah, I'm so glad Inside Out 2 destroyed. Inside Out 2 beat this film at the box office, and is now the highest grossing animated film of the year. Long live the king. And here's the thing, despite it making a lot of money, nobody liked the 2019 Lion King movie. Like, that film was hated across the board, and rightfully so. Like, that was the movie that pretty much made me done with the live action remakes and made me blacklist them altogether. I have not seen a single live action Disney live action remake, and I will never watch another one of these because I watch movies. Like if I wanted to see the Disney animated version, I would just go watch that instead. Simple as that. Problem solved. And the fact that they got Lin-Manuel Miranda for this and yet not for Moana 2 is all the more saddening that this is the current state. It just goes to show that Disney will never learn. And I am not watching their Lilo and Stitch nor their Snow White remake either. No! I ain't seeing that, just for the record. Did you see Longlegs? It's my favorite movie of 2024. It's a bit divisive. No, I haven't seen it. I heard great about it. Like, some said it was overhyped. Some said they loved it. But, if I ever get around to watching it, I'll say my thoughts. Hey, we're at 49 minutes now, so that should be fine. So, what order of business have we considered? Here's the StreamYard link if you want to come in. If anyone wants to come in, there's the StreamYard link. If you want to join, here's the StreamYard link if you want. Because, I don't want to be the only one here. I want to have a bit of fun and have a bit of interaction. All that jazz. The StreamYard link is in the ready. So if you want to come join, you can just click the link and we can have fun together. No need for an account. Yes, it'll be released by the end of the month, and I'm so looking forward to that. Please let that be DreamWorks' best film they released this year, because they've been on a disappointing streak. Like, aside from the really good Orion in the Dark, which sadly only got released on Netflix when it should have been released in theaters. Kung Fu Panda 4 was a disappointment. It kind of got worse the more I thought about it. And again, the less said about Megamind sequel, the better. Hello, Sean.
Hello.
So I'm trying to see how this works. So I need to have to learn how to streams. Like this is my first time ever.
I saw that there was another stream that you have on your channel, in another tab, on your channel.
Yeah, that's because that's more because that was like the first time and it was on my phone and it didn't work. Like, so this is me trying to do this again because I want to start doing streams on my channel.
Oh. Yeah, I have to agree. DreamWorks has been on a very disappointing streak as of late, in more ways than just in 2024. Like, I remember just finding Ruby Gillman to be average.
I have yet to see Ruby Gillman, but I did watch Trolls Band Together, and that film is technically the best one in the Trolls trilogy, although that's not saying much. At this point, it was responsible for bringing the worst on the internet. You know who we're talking about at this point, and it was
Yeah.
sad too. It's sad too because after how good they had a year in 2022 with the bad guys and especially Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, you would think DreamWorks would finally get their A game right, but at this point we could just expect consistency and a few mediocrity along the way.
Yeah. Although they have been on a hit or miss streak before. Like immediately after Shrek 2, which a lot of people considered as Shrek's magnum opus, they put out Shark Tale, which was considered as their worst movie at the time.
Well, oh yeah, but at this point, Shark Tale is at least going to gain the cult following. Like, I would rather watch that over the first Trolls and any of the Boss Baby movies. I'll say that much.
When it comes to my thoughts on the Boss Baby, you already saw my review on that, and I also saw the sequel recently. And while yes, the sequel is technically better than the first movie, it's honestly very pointless because it barely does anything to really improve upon the original. Like all it does is that it rehashes the first movie with very little changes and doesn't really expand the universe of the Boss Baby all that much, because the new characters that we have, Tim's child named Tabitha is just there, and Tina is literally just a female version of Ted or Theodore, whatever you want to name him.
Oh yeah. Not to mention the sequel was more annoying than the first, as all it was nothing but. Here's the meme.
Thing I hate. All the noise.
It never shuts up. Like, I hate it when an animated film refuses to ever take a break. But that's with Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, that was something that I really disliked about Ice Age Collision Course. That movie was so annoying.
And Turning Red too. I'm one of the few people who greatly dislike that film. Like, I hate it when anime films never learn to ever take a break, because if it's just pure annoyance without any fun, they're just gonna be left with pure annoyance and cringe. Like even people need to learn when to shut up.
Mm-hmm. And like throughout the entire and also another thing that I really don't like about the sequel to the Boss Baby is that it barely like while it does improve upon the humor from the original, there's no longer any sort of gross out or an abundance of pop culture references. It does nothing in its place, but the thing that the sequel does over the original is that it's just weird and nonsensical for the purpose of being weird and nonsensical. But that in of itself is not much of a joke at all.
And like there was a literal scene in the Boss Baby 2 where Theodore and Tim pretty much, they turn into, kids. And there was a scene where they were literally pinching each other's nipples, like when they were listening to Time Warp in the background. Like I still like that made me cringe beyond belief.
Yeah, that was also something that I didn't like in the original. Like the original had a ton of sequences that were very uncomfortable. Like the original, no joke, had a sequence where they basically decided to have Tim naked in the bathtub, and Tim's parents took a picture of him being naked while he's freaking out.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's not funny. Cringe. Like people will
Yeah.
mistake that this movie was advocating for CP. You know what that is, right?
Yeah.
Like that's not funny. That's just funny. It like nudity will never be funny ever.
That in of itself is not a joke. That's what made the humor in Brave so bad.
Like exactly. Like I don't know why people think this kind of humor is considered humor when it will never be humor. Because again, nudity is not comedy.
I doubt that Poppy from Trolls would even like him.
No, that was much like how if Brandon met Starlight Glimmer, like she would banish Brandon Hackworth off the face of the earth because he's pedo.
Or if that Super Equality 2002 guy met Hilda in real life, she would run away from him fast.
Sorry. Hello, sorry, I'm still figuring this stuff out.
Welcome to the stream.
Thanks, glad to be here.
So what were we talking about again?
You were talking about something with the Boss Baby and how nudity wasn't funny.
Oh yeah. I mentioned the scene in the original where they basically where Tim's parents decided to take a picture of Tim naked in a bathtub while Tim was freaking out.
Goodness.
Like I'm still that's not even funny. Like how is it we're gonna find that funny?
Yeah, that's just messed up.
Yeah, it really is.
Like what's next? Are we gonna have the Boss Baby twerking?
Don't give them ideas.
God, I hope not.
Yeah, because we certainly don't want to advocate for children twerking, especially if Powerpuff Girls 2016 is any indication.
Right. Or, well, it's technically not for kids. Well, She-Hulk twerking.
Yep. Or especially a certain little Netflix movie that's going to be where they're finally getting rid of that disgusting movie off their platform forever.
Yeah. I'm glad that.
War.
I'm glad that movie is gone, and Trolls Band Together can cry a river for all I care.
He can. like, I can't wait for him to be crying over. Oh no, my favorite pedophile movie is not on Netflix anymore.
Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
He's going to be. He's going to be crying just as much as SpongeBob did in that one episode where he was crying because he didn't want to, because he wanted grandma's kisses.
Right, like a sprinkler. That episode was one of my least favorites of the original series, but yeah.
Oh yeah, Grandma's Kisses was a pretty weak episode from season 2. I mean, it's not the worst pre-movie episode that would go to Dumped, in my opinion. But
Yeah,
still.
Dumped. Don't get me started on Dumped. That film, like, the reason Gary left SpongeBob was because of a cookie?
That's both stupid and unsatisfying and makes Gary look like a sociopath.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
At least with Have You Seen the Snail, SpongeBob messed up and he realized that he messed up and then he was gonna make things right.
Yeah. And Patrick was more likable in Have You Seen the Snail than in Dumped. Patrick was beyond unlikable. Like, this and I'm with Stupid might as well be the early indication that Patrick was becoming an unlikable character, but that would only get worse in the later seasons, especially by the time we got to season 7.
Right.
So, like, the garbage, like, stuck in the ringer and yours, mine, and mine.
Right.
have you
Another
learned
reason why Have You
nothing about sharing?
I seriously want to punch Patrick in that episode just for saying that. Like, that confirmed that he was pretty much a horrible, horrible excuse of a friend.
Right. Oh, something else. Why Have You Seen the Snail is better than Dumped? One reason only. The meme. Don't they know I'm busy spoiling myself?
Oh yeah, I saw that meme everywhere back in 2012.
The best one was when the chocolate guy visited him. Hey, Squidward, selling chocolate bars. Chocolate!
Yeah, that meme is great.
Yeah.
Like there's almost nothing funny about Dumped. Like the only thing that was slightly amusing was SpongeBob going all like if Gary and Larry can't come, all I can have is Jerry.
Yeah.
And then they show a live action picture of a snail.
Right.
Yeah. Aside from the opening scene, the episode was both depressing, cruel, and unfunny. Like, I would rather watch I'm With Stupid because at least I'm With Stupid had some parts where I thought was funny. And the episode's first half was actually pretty decent, but the second half is where Patrick became unlikable.
Exactly.
I still refuse to see the Sandy Cheeks movie.
I don't blame you. Like, when I first saw it, when it got leaked, I thought that film was a fever dream. But it was at least an intriguingly bad fever dream, which I guess was better than a boring movie like Sponge on the Run. Because I guess bad is better than boring sometimes.
Right. Plus, at least there were a few amusing scenes on Sponge on the Run. Like,
yeah, and I think people blow the whole Camp Coral stuff out of proportion.
Right.
That it's been, debunked, and how Steven Hillenburg was aware of that, and people kept spreading misinformation and rumors about that.
Right. Regardless if Camp Coral was against his wishes or not, I'm not a fan of saying this creator is rolling in his grave or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the whole "it ruined my childhood" is stupid.
Yeah. And an example of that is this. Like, people claim that Stan Lee would have hated the scene with She-Hulk twerking. Wasn't there this scene with She-Hulk using some of the parts of the comic to jump rope while nude? And there was that questionable show. What was it that I was naming?
Cinderella?
Yes, that one. Like,
Yeah.
now I'm not in no way crapping on Stan Lee's legacy. I respect for what he's contributed, and he's one of my biggest influences. Like,
Yeah.
but saying that I don't like that, like saying that he would have hated this. Like, when, you know what I mean? Sorry, okay.
Yeah. Like, what's next? Are we gonna say this R word in my childhood, like the hacks at Hot Waffles?
Right. And that, don't get me started on that band. Like, they have worse songs, actually. Like, they have this song called Bass that's just this boring song that's playing bass in the background, saying how no one likes the bass players. Lemmy of Motorhead would suggest otherwise.
Yeah, not to mention they were in that horrible excuse of a documentary. You know which one we're talking about.
Yeah, my least favorite movie of all time.
Where it's just a bunch of cringy Star Wars fanboys crapping on George Lucas and making him look like the Antichrist, all because he made the prequels.
Yeah, I mean, I still like Ridley Scott's early work, but yeah.
Like, what? It wouldn't surprise me if there was a documentary called "The People versus Kathleen Kennedy."
Yeah. Since you brought that up, I might as well do this impression. Stop making movies, you morons.
Wow, that's spot on.
Yeah.
I actually have this video planned where I will do an unflattering parody of the Critical Drinker, and I make fun of him and his hypocrisy.
Yeah.
Like,
Wait, yeah, I'm
there's
actually
so much
considering.
material because I've learned almost all this dirt about him. Get this.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah, I
penned
might have-
books before he started his YouTube channel, but they're badly written, and he has an overpowered girl boss character in his books.
Yeah,
The same guy who's hating on female characters created the most overpowered female character possible.
but quit much.
Yeah, and also, like, I would make fun of it. I got the idea, like, when, you know, Thad Master did that video making fun of Trolls band together or whatever he calls
Yeah,
himself.
I'm actually
yeah.
considering making that video, but to combine Trolls Band Together, Phantom on the one, Missanthrope Pony, Stargent Productions, and every kind of terrible reviewers out there.
I just gotta say, Twilight Sparkle is freaking woke.
Yeah, and I also got the idea because when I saw him recommend Blue Eye Samurai, Critical Drinker recommending Blue Eye Samurai. If anything, I think he would hate that show. The show has a predominantly Asian cast, and the only white man in the show is the villain. And there's an overpowered female character. Well, she's not a Mary Sue. Like, the show goes out of its way to remind us that she is just a human being, but they would accuse her of being a Mary Sue. And I only think the reason he likes that show is because of the naked women.
I doubt that Trolls and Zayd would get along, given that Trolls likes that disgusting
French
Netflix
film that
movie.
shall not be named.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I wonder how these two would interact if they ever met. Zayd would probably be screaming at him.
Hello.
Hello, Henry.
Hello.
Mockingbird.
Zayd would probably go all like, "No, you moron! This movie endorses CP." And then Trolls would go all like, "But come on, the movie is against this."
Right. I would actually be down for them to see it duke it out, like on a stream, or maybe like this, like physical, like, you know, we see them like fighting a ring or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Yeah, thank God.
Yeah.
Although it's been
Thank
rumored he may have
goodness.
a backup account, though nothing has been confirmed yet.
Yeah. Although considering how stubborn that Trolls Band Together fan is, I'm pretty sure that he is going to just hop onto an alternative account.
Yeah.
And considering the fact that Zayd is basically still is basically still updating his folders for his Hatedom documentary, and he decided to show up on somebody else's channel, we all know that Zayd is going to come back, and same thing goes for Trolls Band Together fan.
Unfortunately.
Yes, because the worst people on the internet always find a way to come back.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like that that green orb in Heavy Metal. Have you seen that movie?
No.
Oh, well, I recommend it. It was released in 1981. It's R-rated, like it has violence and nudity. It as an anthology film, and like it centers around this green orb that's like very cursed, and like it can like it just falls. Yeah, it always finds a way to end up in another hand. Probably my favorite my favorite story was one where it had this character named Hanover Fist, who turned into this giant monster. And what made it awesome was he was voiced by Squidward before he was in SpongeBob.
Nice.
And it also has an interesting cast. Like it has this Don Franks. Like you might have recognized him as Sabretooth in the 90s X-Men series. He's the father of Cree Summer, by the way. He voiced this one character, I forget who. But it has John Candy for one segment. Miss him.
Ooh.
And for this segment, like there's this joke, like that. I believe it's Eugene Levy that voices this character, Lincoln F. Stern. Like he's charged with all these heinous crimes, and then it ends with the worst offense of them all. Wait for it. One moving violation. Well, okay, it would be better if you saw like I recommend the film. It has a good soundtrack. Probably the best choice of soundtrack when it played Black Sabbath's Mob Rules, describing exactly what was happening on screen.
First for business, ban the Disney Star Wars sequel trilogy.
like, are you familiar with the show Chatter? I just thought of like that episode, like, you're banned, and he would like post this stamp on it. And there was this guy, he posted a stamp on it, and he's all like, you're banned from the... And the guy's all, I'm just looking for the bathroom. You're banned from that too. I am banned from the bathroom? Every bathroom. No!
Yeah.
You take the moon and you take the sun.
No more burner accounts. No more angry messages. I am going to get my anger managed.
I've seen a couple of Zayd's potential burner accounts, so much for honoring your father's legacy. You're
Right.
like,
Yeah.
I have no son. To quote Ed
Just
Bankhead.
that's what we're gonna happen.
Just like that one episode of Rocco's Modern Life.
Yeah. Rocco, that was before SpongeBob.
Yeah, and it had like many of the writers and voices who were involved with SpongeBob. And I believe was Hillenberg involved? I believe he was involved with that show.
I recall he was involved in that show.
Yeah, he actually was. And in fact, when Joe Murray left after season 3, Steven Hillenberg took over, and that was because Joe Murray actually left the show primarily because of the fact that early in the show's run, his wife unalived herself.
Oh, right.
What a tragedy.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, what's your favorite episode of Rocco's Modern Life?
I'm not too caught up with the series, but I've seen a few episodes and enjoyed it.
Yeah.
My favorite would probably be the one when they are stuck in the cabin and there was like Mr. Big Head was going crazy. Like there was that scene that spoof parody Duck Hunt.
Yeah.
Oh,
I-
90.
Oh,
Still remains a classic adult joke even now. That show was
Right.
ahead of its time.
The
Oh.
episode, like that episode I mentioned earlier, they're playing strip poker.
oh yeah.
Kind of like I believe Aardman movies, like when you like watch them as kids, like there are these jokes like if you thought Shrek was vulgar, when will you see Aardman films? Like there was some innuendos in Wallace and Gromit, Curse of the Were Rabbit. There you go. Whoa.
I
This
bet
makes
he's
Shrek look
compensating
big.
for something.
And there's also Chicken Run, where this one character goes all like, "Great Scott, what is that? A Klingon captain! The engines can't take it."
Oh,
Hello, Ethan.
Hello, John Wick and Beavis and Butthead.
yes, I am here.
Yep.
All right.
So far, it's going
Yeah,
good
my-
as a first live stream.
My internet's been kind of sucky today.
I hate
Yeah,
it when
trust me,
that
all of our
happens.
internet
Yeah.
houses
Me
are
too.
pretty sucky.
My internet has been good so far on my
Yeah.
end.
Yeah, mine's is doing okay. Like, it's doing fine for what it's worth.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's talk about Trolls Fan Camp Fan 2001's termination on YouTube.
It couldn't be any more well deserved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Banned on
Mhm.
PlayStation.
yes. His rant on Across the Spider-Verse, my God.
He
Sometimes
literally called
I-
it the 9/11 of movies. I didn't think you'd mention
Mhm.
9/11 worse than Mr. Ender's Turning Red video, but here we are.
what's with it with
Yeah.
critics and 9/11?
I don't know. And
I felt like
and let's not forget about him wanting to throw the baby off a cliff.
Yeah.
Child abuse
he's got
what?
problems. Deep
My
down
God.
problems.
That's child abuse.
And not to mention either he's taking the baby way out of proportion. Like she doesn't cry once in the movie.
Right.
No, it does not cry a single time in the movie.
In fact, I didn't even realize it cried until you pointed it out.
Yeah, like if there's some child critters I hate, but you don't see me wanting them dead or throw them off a cliff unless they're like
Right.
evil children in their respective series. They're actually
And
villains.
then,
Like, there are some child characters who deserve the fate they got, like Cozy Glow and Friendship is Magic when that show ended. Remember that?
yeah, I remember that. And then,
Mhm.
and when he ranted on the Spider-Verse fan base, he literally called the Spider-Verse fans Nazis and terrorists.
Yes, because
Yeah.
apparently we're on the same level as people who commit
I'm not
atrocities
making
in
this
real
up.
life.
You want to know what fan base has Nazis and skinheads and that kind of stuff?
But
What?
There's actually this black metal genre that like neo-Nazi black metal genre. They have that kind of fan base,
oh,
which is one of the reasons why I can't get into most black metal.
yeah. And then,
I'm not like talking like metal like Iron Maiden and Judas Priest. I'm talking like this kind of metal like I can't even name like neo-Nazi black metal bands. Probably for the best.
yeah,
Yes,
Let's
he
just-
is.
But I do know who started that though. Have you heard of the person Varg Vikernes?
Yep.
Varg Vikernes. He was
And
on this
then-
list that this YouTuber did. He also did the same list of evil YouTubers.
absolutely.
Those evil musicians. Varg Vikernes was the disgraced bassist for the band Mayhem. He was raised in Iraq because, like, he spent his childhood in Iraq because his father was an electrician for Saddam Hussein, and what fueled his white supremacist
Let's talk about
views.
his shit rant on Frozen 2, where he literally flushed an Elsa doll down the toilet. He threatened to shoot the
cosplay to
reindeer
skip
and lost in the woods.
Right.
Like
Well,
he
He
literally
wished Olaf to be thrown off Mount Doom. And he literally set a DVD copy of Frozen 2 on fire.
Yeah. Isn't
Yeah.
burning DVD copies bad or something? Like,
I've seen
I'm sure that's a
burn
fire hazard.
these,
But
apparently,
still, that
YouTube
was a
allows
waste
them.
of money.
It really was. Like
Like
the
if
only
if I had a movie I hated on my DVD collection, I would just sell it. But
yeah.
Or
and even
sometimes
this is
I actually
someone
don't
who
mind
thinks-
having
Yeah.
it. Like for example, I have the Boondocks, like the complete series of the Boondocks on DVD, including season 4, which wasn't so good. But I don't regret having it along my collection because, well, there are a few episodes from season 4 I liked, actually. Probably the best one was when Stinkmeaner was brought
And
back
Harry,
as a clown.
and let's not forget to mention that he threatened to kill Harry Thomas simply because he hated the Trolls movies.
I hate Critical Drinker and Mahler, but I don't want them dead. I mean, I want them punished.
I don't want them dead either.
Like, I want them punished by the book.
Oh, by the way,
Trolls by 2001 clearly isn't like that.
Yeah,
although the only thing that
I hate Jade Magenta too, but I don't want him dead. The most I want him is in jail. As well as Star Giant Productions.
Trolls by 2001 needs to go to jail.
Although the only thing about that Frozen 2 rant that I'm gonna have to say is ironically enjoyable is the intro where he goes all like, what's the meaning of this impossible? You just killed my sister. Oh, I'm not.
I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Like he looks like a whore in that.
That Kim Possible costume he wore at the beginning of the video. Good God!
Sometimes I don't know if he is legit or just trolling or both.
I'm convinced that he is from a mental asylum.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
By the way, I never got what was up with his profile picture.
Who's the worst one here? Misanthropony, Troll Fan 2001, Star Giant Productions, or Lily Orchard?
Probably Star.
Definitely.
Sean was a victim of Rebecca's bullshit. Remember that?
Yeah. There was another person in her server who went by the name of Sean Soar, and me and Sean Soar have the same first names, and so because of that, I ended up being lumped in with Sean Soar for several months until Enter had to clear that up.
Right. Yeah, like what the fuck, Rebecca? Who does that? Who does that to their friends?
Yeah.
I have a question. What was the worst movie you've seen this summer?
Well,
this summer, probably not another church movie.
I've never heard of it. I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
Not another church movie is basically a spoof of Tyler Perry movies. Which, how does that even work? And here's what I actually didn't see it it wasn't a summer release, but I saw it in the summer. Like, the film is meant to be a parody of Tyler Perry movies, and the craziest thing was, it was released in theaters. Like, not as a Fathom event or anything, but like a whole week. I didn't see it in theaters because it didn't show where I live, but like, I saw it rented it off iTunes. I wanted to hate the movie more, but for the most part, I'm just confused. Like, where's the joke here? Where's even the setup?
Yeah. My worst film, before I saw Borderlands in September, the worst one I saw in summer was The Exorcism, with starring Russell Crowe. Not to be confused with The Post-Exorcist. That was the worst one I saw this summer. Though Taro was a pretty close second.
Right.
I haven't seen very many movies in the summer. I have watched movies, particularly older ones, but that's specifically for reviews. But the one that I did see is Inside Out 2, and that movie was great.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Yeah,
amazing.
excellent movie.
Best film of the
Unfortunately, the experience I had watching it was just atrocious. From the child behind me crying throughout the entire movie, from the constant talking, and couple of I even saw a couple of movie patrons on their phones towards the end of the movie.
Jesus Christ. Like, that
Mm.
experience was hell.
One of my
Yeah.
worst movie experiences was for it was for it was that Jordan Peele movie, his most recent movie. Oh, Nope. Like, there was this guy next to me, like, I was just checking something on my phone, and then he said, "Put your phone away, please." And I'm all, okay, yeah, sure. But then I was checking something again later. Like, I know it's hard to resist with that, but then like a few moments later, like, he put my phone up right into my face. But before that, what happened was this. You know the scene in Nope, like with the chimp, like when the kid hiding from the chimp. During that scene, I heard this noise, and I thought, like, wait, is this part of the movie? It was snoring. The guy who was sitting a few seats next to me had fallen asleep. And like later, like after I looked at something on my phone, he would held the phone right to my face, and I'm like, dude, could you try not to fall asleep?
Yeah, my worst movie going experience has to go to In the Heights, where it was only me and my mom and a family who would not shut up. Like, that family alone ruined that movie for me, to the point where I couldn't even enjoy the movie on its own merits, to the point where I could only give that film a 5 out of 10.
Right. I try not to have heckling audience members be a hindrance on the rating, but I can understand.
Like seriously, another one was the Mario movie, though that was mostly because I had to sit in the bottom row, meaning I had to see the film very up close, and
Yeah.
it was on the, I think it was on the left side of mine, for me.
Right.
Not a pleasant experience, but there was also multiple people who went to go see that film too. And I arrived very late. I was only able to get 3 trailers.
Right.
I didn't really have any necessarily bad movie theater experiences.
You got lucky.
There is one in specific that there was one that was a little more distracting than actually bad. When I went to see Incredibles 2, it was extremely hot in the theater, to the point where I was sweating a lot during the experience while watching the film.
Right. I've had some annoyances. Like when I saw Inside Out 2, I mean, this was more person. He was autistic like me, but I could figure that out. I've been around more to be able to detect. Throughout the movie, he would say random things, and this was just a minor annoyance. I could tune it out.
Mm.
Yes.
All right. Let's go back to the subject of the worst movies we saw this summer.
Let's see what else. What else did I see?
I'm going to go ahead and go. I'll see you guys later.
All right.
Later.
All right.
All right, Sean.
See you, Sean.
See you,
See ya.
Sean.
Here.
Have a
Let's
good day.
see. What were some of the worst movies I saw in the summer?
All right.
Let's see. Oh, I know. Think I might know one. Let's see. All recent activities reviewed. Sorry, I'm looking through my letterbox. Okay, one movie I didn't consider. Let's see. I know some people like it, but for me, it just wasn't for me. Alien Romulus. I thought it was doing so well until it got around to the end. There was this part of the movie where it just paused to drop a line from Aliens. I could have forgiven that. I could have forgiven some of the nostalgia pandering, but what broke the film for me was the ending. Have you seen it?
No.
The ending to me was not that bad.
Okay, well, are you okay with me spoiling the ending?
I
Lemon, put it in the chat by the time you stop the spoiler. So I'll mute it for now.
I think okay, let's see. At 1 hour 33 and 38. Actually, you know what? It's probably for the best I don't spoil it. I'm just gonna say it gave me Alien Resurrection flashbacks.
All right. So yeah, the worst films of the summer, and the worst film of the summer is Borderlands. But if I have to count the ones I saw in summer, as in between May all the way to August, my top 5 right here. I have it on my letterbox. 5th worst would go to Trigger Warning. It's basically the female version of Rambo. It's basically this year's Taken. 4th worst, Despicable 4. Can this franchise just end already? 3rd was Atlas.
Trigger Warning sounds like a Daily Wire original title.
Oh, fuck
Like,
the Despicable 4. My God, what a piece of shit that movie was.
It was. I mean, I didn't hate it as much as Minions or Despicable Me 3, but it was the most pointless and had the least reason to exist.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think I found the worst movie I saw in the summer, and I saw it in June, and it's on YouTube for free, and it was released this year. Arctic Hollow. It's about like this guy on an expedition, like in the Arctic, and he's trying to get through this system that will get him to inner Earth. And the poster is a lie. Like, it has this dinosaur roaring at the moon or something. Dinosaurs don't appear in the moon. Dinosaurs don't appear in the movie. Like, you see that, like, I mean, it's implied they appear, but you don't even see them. Like, the film couldn't even, like, do the stuff, like you could barely even see them. They had such lousy effects that they were so hidden.
How am I not surprised? All right, to my list. Number 3 is Atlas, the Netflix sci-fi movie about AI. And it's about as generic as you think, and has some of the worst writing of this year. 2nd worst is Taro, yet another PG-13 horror film released by Screen Gems. How do you think that How well do you think that would go? And the worst one is, of course, The Exorcism. Again, Russell Crowe in an excellent film that has no connection to the book's Exorcist, and instead is permanently the most boring and practically nothing that works in that film. Like, nothing at all works. There's no contest.
I hope this doesn't become his thing where he'll star in like these cruddy Exorcist movies or whatever. Like,
the Exorcism genre needs to die.
Yeah,
Unless they want to bring it back in a unique way.
Yeah, like, granted, possession movies for me, like,
can I go ahead and list my worst movies I've saw this summer?
Go ahead.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and say number 6 for me is It Ends With Us.
I heard about it.
This movie was just so boring. The 2 positives I had with it were Blake Lively's performance and the great cinematography. But that's it. Everything else fucking sucked.
Right. I also heard there was some rather questionable stuff regarding that movie.
I heard the book was probably even worse than problematic. Also, look in the chat. Imagine if Charles Bandicoot saw the 24 live-action adult animated movies stop motion. I'm sure he'll do a rant on that. Oh yes, because stop motion is too scary for him, says the guy who hated Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio out of spite.
I'm sure he saw Blue Eye Samurai, he'd hate on it.
Number 5 is going to go to If.
I like that movie.
I like that movie, but yeah, it was disappointing.
Yeah, I do respect your opinion. Like, the only saving grace for that movie for me was the animation on the Ifs.
Right, like,
that's it.
They looked so real. Like, wow.
They looked really cool. But other than that, this movie sucks. Number 4, these were the movies that I gave a 0 out of 10 to. Number 4 is going to go to Borderlands.
Ah,
Yeah, it's not my second worst movie of this year, and I hated it more than Madam Web. I didn't think it was possible.
My God, this movie was just horrendous.
I'm not a
Nothing
Borderlands
in
fan.
this movie works at all.
I'm not a Borderlands
Absolutely
fan,
nothing.
but even I could tell something was off by the trailer. Like, it just looked like Guardians of the Galaxy and Jumanji meshed together.
Yeah,
this
plus
movie-
it was produced by
It's
Alvin
tried
Asshole
so
Love.
hard to beat Guardians of the Galaxy and James Gunn's The Suicide Squad, but fails. It fails miserably.
And of course, Avi Arad. I
Avi
really didn't
Asshole
want to be
Arad.
on the hate bandwagon for
Oh,
Avi Arad, but when you
Oh,
put these together,
Claptrap.
he's a
Claptrap
problem.
voiced by Jack Black. I fucking hated Claptrap in this movie. Good God.
No kidding. I actually wanted to see him go into a little, let's say, where's the place where for regarding? Oh yeah, the scrap heap. That's where he belongs.
Right. Then just crush.
Did you know that Claptrap was voiced by Jack Black?
Yes,
yeah.
I did.
And it
I
couldn't be
mentioned
any
it.
worse timing after his controversy
Jack
of
Black
Tenacious
was
D.
just insufferable as Claptrap.
Yeah. And now he's going to be in the Minecraft movie. I said this earlier in the chat, but I hope this doesn't become his whole new thing, like where he is in video game movies. I mean, I get he's a gamer like us, but still.
Yeah. Borderlands, do not waste your time with this movie.
Way ahead of you. I put it on my I'm not watching that mentions for my worst list.
Number 3 is the remake of The Crow.
Can we
Oh,
let
another one I
Brendan
have
Lee
on
rest?
the not watch list.
Can Brendan Lee rest?
Yes,
Leave him alone.
please.
Yeah, I mean, like,
This movie is an insult to not just Brandon Lee and not just to the 1994 classic, but also to the graphic novel / comic book.
I haven't read the graphic novel, nor have I seen the cult movie, but it was like the cult movie was like a once like need in a bottle, like based on what I heard. Like, why remake it?
Yeah,
And
and like
yeah,
with Borderlands, this movie there is nothing that is redeemable in this movie. Absolutely nothing at all.
Even if it was like its own thing or stuff, it just doesn't look good. Like, it just looked like emo John Wick.
Yeah. A bad version of John Wick, might I add.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and worse yet, it's directed by Robert Sanders, and a director who I really did defend with Snow Husband, and I actually defended his Ghost in the Shell movie from 2017.
Yeah.
I'm one of the few people who defended
Yeah.
that.
If that's they look something out of a Nintendo Wii game.
That would be insulting because I've recently like played this Nintendo Wii game, and like, sure, there's some parts that look off, but like they have some well-designed models, at least.
I can understand where you're coming from.
Right.
Insulted.
What's number?
Number 2.
What's number 2?
Number 2, these 2 movies piss me off. These 2 movies absolutely piss me off. Number 2 is Despicable Me 4.
Oh,
Can this
when I saw
franchise
that trailer,
fucking end?
I got flashbacks to Thor: Love and Thunder because of the Guns N' Roses song playing.
Oh my God. Oh.
Maxime Lamar is the worst Despicable Me villain.
And I don't get why they won't age up the kids. I mean, why
They-
not? I mean,
They don't even age the kid.
Yeah,
Like-
and for whatever reason,
Yeah.
apparently age of
All right.
Herb and Scarlet Overkill.
This is a Frankenstein of a movie, mainly due to the absurd amount of subplots stitched together to make one movie.
right?
Just like Despicable Me 3.
Right.
They
The
learned
minions
nothing.
are at their worst. The minions are at their worst. Maxime Lamal is one of the worst characters of the year, without question.
I agree.
Yeah, crap trap. And Borderlands, more like Farterland.
Or bored turd trash.
All right, back to the
Number
movie.
one, hit us.
All right, before we get number one out of the way, I just need to mention something. I just need to mention something else about the movie. They played "Everybody Wants to Rule the World" by Tears for Fears at the end of the movie, with all the villains singing along.
Explain to me how Vector came back to Earth.
Yeah, they don't even explain it.
And yet,
I heard
Herb and Scarlet Overkill apparently get aged in this film. Like, that's a plot hole that needs to be explained.
Like, are they
That
vampires
is
or
a
something?
huge plot hole.
Like,
All right. That's my number two. Glasses are coming off for this one because my number one absolutely pissed me off.
Ray Harlan.
My number one absolutely pissed me the fuck off.
Oh boy.
Be prepared for some anger here, folks, because my number one worst movie of the summer is not only the worst movie I've seen this summer, but also the worst movie I've seen this year.
Oh boy.
All right. Why don't we do a drum roll? My number one worst movie of the summer is the Garfield movie.
Ah,
Thought it was mid.
yeah. Might have to rewatch it. But go ahead.
Oh, holy shit. This was just absolutely painful to sit through. Everything in this movie is wrong. Everything. From the animation to the voice acting to the story to the screenplay to the soundtrack to the pacing to the editing. The amount of pop culture references are through the roof.
The Emoji
product
Movie.
placement is just the amount of product placement is just ridiculous.
Yeah, like didn't the Bill Murray ones have a problem with product placement? Like there was this toy train set and you saw a Wendy's sign on it. Like, what?
What the fuck?
In this film,
But
you
trust me,
literally call it
that is
Catholic.
nothing compared to the amount of product placement in this
Right.
movie. I mean, they advertise Heinz tomato ketchup, they advertise Pop Chips, they advertise Olive Garden, they
Right.
advertise
I
the
remember
Sony
how-
headphones, they advertise Walmart, and they advertise FedEx.
And I can
Not to
understand
mention
why this is an
Catholics.
issue because wasn't the original comics meant to be a critique of capitalism or something?
Yeah,
It became
Yeah.
everything.
I can get that,
Destroyed.
but
Yeah.
and this one scene where Garfield literally mentions Tom Cruise. Hang on.
That's just lazy.
Yeah,
Like,
hang on.
Mark Dendel, what happened to you?
Also, I can't get behind Garfield. Like,
Hello,
I mean-
Matthew.
hi Matthew. Mhm.
Yeah, I seriously don't even want to talk about this movie anymore.
Okay.
All right, long story short, Garfield movie is the worst movie I've seen this summer. Not just this summer, but the entire year.
All right.
I'm fuck
If not,
this movie.
yeah, if not for Megamind 2,
I'm done.
like, nothing will top that film. But yeah, what are the best ones of this summer? I'll go over mine real quickly.
All right,
I'll get my top 5 favorites of the summer just to get that one over with. All right, let's see. My number 5, Oddity, a great horror film, and that one that got seriously overlooked. Number 4, why did bomb in favor of the Garfield movie? Oh yeah, because of the marketing.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that. Why the fuck? Sorry about that. Why the fuck did Furiosa lose to the Garfield movie?
Because the Garfield movie was better marketed by Sony than they ever did for Madam Web.
Yeah.
That's one reason. All right. Back to my list. Number 3, The Fall Guy, a great way to start off the summer and prove why David Leitch is an underestimatedly fun director. Mm-hmm. Number 2, The Imaginary, the Netflix anime film. Seriously, more people need to go watch this. And of course, my number 1, Inside Out 2. It's obvious. I love that film to death. Though Dune Part 2 gives it competition.
Event release.
All right, my best films for the summer. All right, number 10, I believe, is this little movie called Thelma. If you don't know what this movie is, it's this comedy about this old lady that wants to get her loan back. And if you haven't seen the movie, please check it out. It's really good.
Thelma, you said?
Yeah, Thelma.
Okay.
Heard great
Number 9 is The Fall Guy.
All right.
This was a fantastic way to kick off the summer movie season. Number 8 is this movie I bet you never heard of. It's called In a Violent Nature.
Oh yeah, I actually heard about that film. Didn't that have Bill Skarsgård?
Yeah, it's this slasher film in the woods that takes heavy inspiration from the Friday the 13th franchise.
Ah.
Number 7 is this movie called Number 7 is this movie called, let's see. Number 7 is, all right. Number 7 is this, Number 7 is Alien Romulus.
Glad you liked it.
Hello?
Hi, Matthew.
Right. Number 6 is...
I'm here.
Number 6 is Maxine.
Oh.
Anyway, you want to know
Maxine
what my
is a really good conclusion to the Ty West X trilogy.
Anyway, you want to know what my worst movie of this year was?
What?
It was none other than Madam Web. Okay.
Oh my God! You know what? That was originally my pick for the worst movie of the year until the Garfield movie managed to dethrone it 3 months later.
Right.
All right. So, where were you?
All right. I was at number 5. Number 5 is. My number 5 is. My number 5 is Inside Out 2.
Nice.
Yeah, I know. I understand, but there are movies that I saw this summer that I thought were even better, but still. Number 4 is A Quiet Place Day 1.
It was better than part 2, but not as good as part 1, in my opinion.
Number 3 is Deadpool and Wolverine.
Nice.
Way better than I expected it to be.
Same. It was a great farewell to the Fox Marvel.
I was worried Disney was going to ruin it, but thank God they didn't.
Right, indeed.
Number 2 is Furiosa.
Nice.
Why the fuck did this movie even lose to the Garfield movie again? And number 1, not just my favorite movie of the summer, but my favorite movie of this entire year. My number 1 is Longlegs.
Nice.
I love this movie.
That's my favorite too.
Oh,
That
Good on
movie
you,
gave me
Walter, man.
chills for like a long time after I left the theater. Like,
Oh.
I was like, it was around the evening that the chills were gone. That's a sign you know it did its job.
next year, Osgood Perkins will have his next movie. I'm definitely going to be going to see that next year. And then
All right.
let's talk about how.
Can I share some of like since we shared the favorite movies of the summer, could I share mine real quick?
Sure.
Go ahead,
Go ahead.
Razor.
Okay.
You have liberties.
Okay. Number 10. What a wonderful day! Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Oh, I forgot about Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
I can't believe I
it wasn't
forgot
up there
about
with the
that.
Caesar trilogy,
Yeah,
but
I always try to plan
I
my
thought it was
list
pretty
in
good.
advance.
yeah. And I'm looking forward to see where the trilogy goes first. And I have faith in Wes Bell at least for the Legend of Zelda movie. I'm still concerned with Avi Arad attached to the project.
Wait, what? Avi Arad
He
from
ruined Uncharted, apparently.
He was the guy who pressured Sam Raimi to put Venom into Spider-Man 3.
that
Hey,
that guy.
Note to self: try to go out of your way to watch some Indian anime films from time to time. It's worth it sometimes.
Right. Number 9. What you gonna do with Bad Boys Ride or Die? It was still a missed opportunity to have the fourth one named For Life, because then they could do 4 with the title.
Yeah. So glad the director.
I also forgot about Bad Boys Ride or Die as well.
Hey guys,
My
favorite film of the year was Beverly Hills Cop XOF.
Right, that was fun.
I haven't seen that yet.
I am so glad the Batgirls director finally got made so much money that they angered David Zaslav after he shut down the Batgirl movie.
Right.
Two middle fingers at that guy, through and through.
Right.
Yeah. Speaking of which, why don't we talk about the fact that the Cartoon Network website shut down recently?
Right. Truly the end of an era.
Yeah. David
How could we
Zaslav
shut
should
down?
fucking burn in hell.
Whoa.
Yeah. He has been causing so much damage to Warner Brothers.
Right. Like, I posted this meme, the real villain, and then I had a picture of Darkseid as the villain, and then the real villain be David Zaslav.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Exactly.
yeah.
More damage to the DC.
Don't even get me started on
than
Velma.
Darkseid could dream of. Darkseid is a saint compared to him.
Yeah. Cartoon ever.
Right. And now, let's see. I was on number 8. Number 8, Kinds of Kindness. It was directed by the same person who directed The Poor Things. I understand it's not for everyone, but I enjoyed it. Plus, it played a Dio song. It's a strange film, for sure. Number 7, Ultraman Rising. Number 8, you probably didn't hear this film. I mean, it was not much, but it was something I needed with all the stuff that was going on in the world. My Penguin Friend. It was based off a true story, and it follows this man, like, after losing his son, he befriends this penguin that was stuck in some oil.
Oh, I have not seen that.
I was just expecting a cute film with Jean Reno and a penguin, but I got this film that was actually, whoa, it hit hard.
Yeah.
Okay, that was.
Oh yeah, he is. Like the whole cancel Will Smith for rapping Chris Rock went way out of hand. Like, yes, he was in the wrong, but Will Smith didn't even come close to stuff like Amber Heard, and so forth. I'll say that much.
Someone pointed this out. Like, I saw someone pointed this out on Letterboxd. Like, the BS that I have with this Hollywood standard. Like, so Wesley Snipes goes to prison for tax evasion. I forget how many years, but he served his time and got his act together. But Victor Salva, that creep, he got bailed out and is still making movies?
What? What the fuck?
Yeah.
What is
standards
wrong
at
with
its
Hollywood
finest.
nowadays?
Yeah.
Double standards, am I right?
Indeed.
I
My
have to
next
get
film
going right
is a
now.
film I didn't see any
Alright.
marketing for, but then
Bye,
I saw the
Matthew.
good reception
Bye
and I
bye.
checked it out. Oddity. That film was terrifying. Like, I'll never look at wooden statues the same again. Number 5, Furiosa. Oh, wait. Let's see. Yeah, sorry, let's try. Number 5, Furiosa. Wait.
Yes!
Furiosa. And then Deadpool and Wolverine. And then Inside Out 2. And then Longlegs.
That's also my favorite film of the summer.
Yeah. That film, like, I might plan to revisit because I heard some people say, like, it's overrated. And, I mean, I can understand. Like, I want to watch to see if I still enjoy it. Like, that film scared me, was one of the scariest films I've seen in quite some time. The second film that scared me so much was The Babadook.
All right. Do we have any other summer releases that are worth mentioning? Just
Let's
get them
see.
over it. I'll go first, okay? Because I'm the head of the stream. I guess if I wanted to make a top 10, other ones I really enjoy. Let me go through my list. First of one is Robot Dreams, a really good animated film that got an Oscar nomination. I actually watched it before summer, so that's something.
That's on my watch list.
Yeah, next up is Daddy-O. It's really just two people talking in a cab, and I was not bored with that film. Like, it really took a lot out of me. So next up is Deadpool and Wolverine, the most fun I had in the theater all year. Next up is Kill. We need more Bollywood movies to be released nowadays. And of course, there's A Quiet Place Day 1. And that would be a number 10 spot.
One film that I recommend checking out, I mean, it was released on Prime Video. I mean, you could rent it off Prime Video, and it was a rent by the summer.
The Prime Bowl?
Yep, the Prime.
Oh. I forgot to mention The Strangers Chapter 1 as my worst films of the summer.
There's still... Oh, wait, I was thinking of a different franchise. Like, oh, wait. Oh, right. They're still making those movies?
Yes!
Yes, and it's directed by a director who used to be good called Rennie Harlan. He used to be good with movies like Cliffhanger and Die Hard 2. But now he's been on a downward spiral ever since.
Like, every single character in this movie is so dumb that they would make Patrick Star from SpongeBob SquarePants look smarter.
It's like the
even when
Geico
you
commercial, like, if you're in a horror movie,
yeah.
you make bad decisions.
Yes. Don't even get me started on the mid-credits scene.
There was a mid-credits scene for that movie?
Yes.
Oh God, I've only seen the first Strangers film, and I thought it was meh, like 6 out of 10. Not like, but it wasn't a favorite. I can only imagine the sequels being so much worse than Harrison.
Right. One film like that I was talking about, The Primevals, like, I mean, it's not the best film, but it's worth checking out because it has a whole interesting history. Like, it was in development hell since the 60s, but then it would pick up production, and then it would resume, and then it was the director died in the late 90s, but then the film finally got to see the light of day. I mean, it's not the greatest film, but it's glad I got to see the light of day.
Yeah. Welcome, Afro Sushi, to the stream. How are you doing?
Woo!
And I agree. It was really good.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I've
So,
not seen as many
movie
movies.
and cartoon fan, will you be keeping this live stream up on your channel?
yes, I will. Like I said, this is mainly just a test run to see,
All right.
to see if I can have more live streams on my channel. So that way this
All right.
channel doesn't just die and become a re-upload fest of other terrible people.
Yeah.
Understandable. Like, there are other videos I wanted to work. Like, I want to do other things, like, besides this one type of stuff. Have some variety.
Yeah.
All right.
I want to get back to
Most
doing
of
reviews.
these anticipated films of the fall season.
I have the list. Here's my list if you want to know what it is. Let me pull it up. Let me see. I'm trying to get my letterbox, and it's there. It's there. All right. Get the ones I'm looking forward to the most. My honorable mentions are Beetlejuice, Speak No Evil.
Oh, I'm seeing that tomorrow.
Oh yeah, Gladiator 2, Wolves, Saturday Night, Peace, Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rahim, Memoir of a Snail, I forgot it was even coming out, Nosferatu, and A Complete Unknown. For my top 5, my 5 is The Wild Robot. Please let it be DreamWorks' best film they released this year. 4th is We Live in Time. I love Andrew Garfield. I love Florence Pugh, and I like A24. Number 3 is Here. Please let this be the comeback of Robert Zemeckis that he deserves. My second is Sonic the Hedgehog 3, maybe because I'm a fanboy, and my number 1 is Joker Folie à Deux, which is no contest. And to get the ones I'm dreading, all right, you go for your most anticipated first. Whoever wants to go.
Well, I'm looking forward to this movie. It's coming out the same weekend as Beetlejuice, which I'm also looking forward to. The Front Room, it's an A24 film. It follows this woman looking after her mother-in-law, but the trailer for it looked scary. Let's see what else I'm looking forward to. Oh, this is what I'm looking forward to. Your Monster. It's a film that was released at a film festival. You probably never heard of it. It was based off a short film. It's getting a full movie. It follows this woman who forms a romance with the monster that was in her closet. I'm interested in it because I'm a fan of Melissa Barrera. She's had a good run with horror movies. She was in the newer Scream movies, and this year's Abigail, which I really liked. Let's see what else. Oh, of course, Nosferatu. I'm actually started listening to the audiobook of the Dracula book because you know that Nosferatu is basically an adaptation of Dracula with a different name. And I'm looking forward to The Wild Robot. Please, DreamWorks, don't let us down.
Yes, please.
And of course, that Lord of the Rings animated movie. And yeah,
Right. I'm going to go over my most anticipated films of the fall season. All right. Number 5 is Lord of the Rings, the anime.
Nice.
Number 4 is The Wild Robot.
Nice.
Number 3 is Beetlejuice. Number 2 is Joker Folie à Deux.
Right.
And number 1 for me is Nosferatu.
Nice. Nosferatu for
From the same guy who directed The Northman and The Lighthouse.
Right.
Yeah.
Couldn't be in better hands. I was skeptical of him remaking Nosferatu.
All right.
Nosferatu seemed like one of those untouchable films.
Yep.
Yeah. And now to get the ones we're not looking forward to out of the way, my dishonorable mentions, I don't have many. I have Venom: The Last Dance. I may consider giving it a chance if the reception doesn't turn out terrible. Megalopolis, Francis Ford Coppola, why? Next up is Red One, starring Dwayne, I'm an Egotist, The Rock Johnson.
Right.
And The Apprentice, which is basically a Trump film of some sorts. All right, top 5. All right, here's my top 5 least anticipated films of fall. My 5th, Spellbound. I have no hope for Skydance Animation.
Right.
I have no hope for Skydance Animation if they don't get rid of John Lasseter at this point.
Right.
Number 4, Transformers 1. It's the trailer of garbage, and it did nothing to impress me. Number 3,
I'm concerned with Transformers 1 because
it's also directed by Josh Cooley.
God.
All right. My number 3 is Hellboy Crooked Man.
Why we could have gotten a third Del Toro Hellboy movie?
Yeah.
And it said it's a sequel to 2019, and it looks cheap as hell.
I've seen fan films with better production than this.
Yeah,
exactly.
Me too.
Yeah. In second, the silver medal for Dread, Craven the Hunter. So at this point, I might as well block Sony Spider-Man universe out of my mind because at this point, they're not going to get any better. Morbius killed it. Morbius killed it for me, but Madam Web was the final straw with them.
I stopped.
And finally, the cream de la shit, Mufasa the Lion King.
Right.
Could have been no other film. in my dread
Like-
list more than a Disney live action remake.
Like the big question is like, why? Why?
Why?
I mean, besides money.
Who asked for this?
Nobody.
Nobody asked for it.
Nobody whatsoever.
Right.
Afro Sushi, do you have yours? What are you doing? Hello.
Oh, I'm trying to. Can anybody hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. I was just adjusting my mic. I was trying to make.
Can I go ahead and go?
Sure.
All right. My least anticipated films of the fall season. Number 5 is Megalopolis.
Right. I put that on my blacklist of 2024.
Wait.
Number
which film?
4
Sorry.
is Spellbound.
Oh, I completely forgot about that
Fuck
one.
Don Lasseter.
Yes.
Eesh.
Number 3
That
is
was-
Craven the Hunter.
Sony.
Why,
please
Sony?
stop.
Why?
'Cause-
Number
'cause
2,
more money.
my number 2 is Hellboy the Crooked Man. This looks cheaper. I've seen better production values and fan films than this garbage.
Exactly. Like, I mean, this is what's the budget for this? Like, and I don't believe budget excuse because I've seen amazing films with low budgets.
Please, just like, let's seriously.
Like hundreds of
Fan
beavers.
films are not Spider-Man Lotus, just for the record.
Right.
Number 1
I
for
do
me
not refuse to
is
see
Mufasa the Lion King.
Right.
Oh my God.
Another blacklist.
I do not want to see that movie whatsoever.
Me
Right.
neither. Well,
Like-
while soccer moms will be showing to Disney, we Sonic fans will be getting the special treatment.
No. Wait. I think what you should say is we're gonna be dropping the little kids off from Mufasa while the real adults go and see Sonic 3 in theater.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like we're getting special treatment.
Right.
I mean, Sonic 3 is going to crush the shit out of Mufasa at the box office this December.
Right. And I already have a meme planned for it. I did this whole meme with Inside Out beating the Lion King 2019. You know the American Dad meme? Like the take that, sir! Behold a grown man weeping like
Oh, I'm sorry. I saw that. I saw your little clip, but that was when Inside Out 2 surpassed the shitty Lion King remake, and that made me laugh.
Yes!
yeah.
Yes!
I
I heard about it this weekend.
Or like he'd do a poll.
Yes!
I have this one
Oh,
planned. Like,
excuse me,
I won't say
sorry.
much else. I'll just say, like, it's fitting. I mean, it would be easy due to the Long Live the King, but trouble is, people already beat me to that. So I had to do something different. But I have a good idea. I won't say what it is, but it will be a good one.
You know. Transformers 1 looks so childish. It's saying a lot when Transformers 3 Dark of the Moon is for adult Transformers movie. The movie with the joke deep when the more adult Transformers movie. And considering that Michael Bay created stuff like Skids and Mudflap, and of course the Romeo and Juliet in Extinction, that's already saying a lot.
Sorry. If I may interject, I don't know if I'm like the only person to say this, that I'm still curious to see Transformers 1 and how that turns out. Like I have like no doubt in my mind it's gonna be worse than like Age of Extinction or The Last Night. Like at least I hope it won't be as bad as those like god awful
Like-
movies.
Oh, it better not. Like, you're gonna have to try really hard to have a movie where Age of Extinction literally had the Romeo and Juliet law.
Literally,
Of course, the
like,
Last Night
how-
being a literal eyesore to look at because
I'm sorry.
they kept changing ratios.
I'm sorry, if I may say, just little quick side rant. how the hell, I don't know if I can curse, sorry, but how the heck
You can
did
curse.
how the hell did no one tell them during mid-production, like, hey, this is a bad idea, maybe this is creepy, this is weird, you know, like, kids are gonna see this movie. Why did you just not remove
I have a
it?
question.
Oh,
Would you want Eli Roth, the director of Borderlands, to make a Garfield horror movie?
No, that's Risk Break Waterfield's job.
Right. Ugh.
I mean,
Go ahead. Like, there's the StreamYard link. Go look it up.
I am gonna be heading off now. It was fun to join the stream. I might try more streams later on.
And I think at 2 hours and 11 minutes, that's good enough. I think we should end the stream and come back another time. Hopefully, we'll do more.
All right.
Hopefully, in the next stream, we'll probably talk about a lot more movies, shows we watched, etc., etc. So until then, peace.
Peace.
Have a good night.
Peace out.